There's that
That's like my
stereotype that
friends.
says that like women will go out on fancy dates just to get food.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sure there's maybe one or two women that like it, but I'm like, I'm telling you, my guy, women are not going to want to spend an hour and a half with you just because of food. You're not that interesting, my dude. Like, you know what I mean? Especially not at first. Like, you know, like even me, like I can guarantee you a woman doesn't want to spend 2 hours with me, and I'm very comfortable with myself. So I can guarantee you a woman doesn't want to spend 2 hours with me just because I'm going to pay for the fucking lobster. I guarantee you. Even if she's broke, she's like, ugh, I got to deal with this guy. Like, I'm sure she's going to say that. For me, my green flags are... Like, I think the first one that I would probably notice more than any other is if they have a really great sense of humor. Sure. So, like, if their sense of humor is, like, I don't want to say really intelligent, but, like, if their sense of humor is, I guess, sophisticated, if they can make jokes about, you know, situations, if they can be sarcastic or if they can, like, understand a lot of satire and stuff, I'm like, okay, this is a green flag because I know that I can, like, try to talk about things about the world and be a little bit more comedic, and it makes for a great conversation. This is going to be this might be controversial, but for me, a red flag is if she talks bad about her exes.
Yeah, we've actually said that too. Like, I don't think that, even if it went bad, right? Why bring that into the next person?
I just think that I guess my instinct is like if you're saying, unless, I mean, I'm sure it might have been really bad.
Yeah.
But like if it was really bad, just be like, I'd rather not talk about that. It was kind of like a bad thing, like, and you know what I mean. And I don't want to bring it up, but then I also don't want to like badmouth somebody. Mm-hmm. Even if you say it like that, it just shows I have a lot of respect for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I know that may be a story that I want to hear one day. And I know that it's a sensitive issue, so I should approach it that way, right? Mm-hmm. But if immediately it's like, oh my God, he did blah, 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 this and that, blah, blah, like all this, I'm like, oh man, like, I don't know, like, what are you going to say about me if like we don't get along at some point? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm not perfect, so I know that like we might misunderstand each other sometime, and if you go out of your way outside of our conversation to put it in bad context, I'm like, oh God, like I don't, you know? But I'll even go as far as to say, like, in terms of the ex thing, like, a lot of people have said this is a red flag about me, but I'm perfectly okay with people being friends with their exes. To me, that doesn't, again, like, I'm not an insecure guy. So, like, if you tell me I dated this guy and we're still friends, in my mind, I don't, I'm like, okay. I mean, you tell me, like, you know, I'd like to see how let's all hang out together. And if, like, you know, if I don't see, like, there's any tension or anything, everything feels, like, normal, then, like, why should I give a fuck? You know what I mean? You're with me now, you know? I'm not an insecure guy like that. I'm not possessive like that. So I again, women are property. So I'm like, okay, if that's the one you want to live your life and he has a friendship value to you, like, well, who am I to get in the way of that, right? But I'm friends with my exes. I'm friends with a considerable amount of my exes, maybe, like, two girls that we don't talk at all, that it was like maybe some bad blood there. But for the most part, like, I'm still friends with my exes. My parents saw one of my ex at a restaurant in Houston like 2 weeks ago, and they talked. She texted me afterwards. She's like, I just saw your mom. It was so nice seeing her, whatever, blah, blah. And then my mom, like 2 days later, was like, hey, I saw her, blah, blah. It was nice seeing her and her husband and her, I think it's her baby daddy. And, like, you know, it was nice seeing them. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm sure you guys, you know, yeah, she texted me. She said she really liked seeing you. Like, for me, it's like nothing, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm perfectly okay with being around women that I was around before. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially if it ended with no bad blood. I mean, it might have been hard at the beginning, but, like, if I ended it and I know why, like, I don't have any problem. And so I wouldn't feel that way the other way around. It'd be different if I was like, I'm friends with my exes, but I don't want you to be friends with your exes. Like, that'd be really hypocritical. Yeah. But because I'm comfortable with that, I'm like, yeah, I can see a world where you're still friends with their exes. Mm-hmm. Because the girls that I'm friends with that we dated, they're husbands / boyfriends / whoever they're involved with, they know about me, and we all still hang out together. So if that could happen with them, and I'm nobody, like I'm nobody in their life. It's not like I'm trying to, like, rekindle anything or whatever. Then it could 100% happen with a girl that I'm seeing and her ex or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? So a red flag for sure is if they talk bad about their exes, but it's not necessarily a red flag if they're still friends with their exes either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, well, like, I feel like for at least me, we all have exes and stuff, but like if I'm on a date, it's because I'm like genuinely over it, and it's like there's no point whether it ended well or bad. Like, they're out of my life, and it's like something that I can do like pretty well with is like losing people in my life, and like not have like whether like, you know, it's like a close friend or like a boyfriend, like I don't really feel the need to keep those connections around like ever, like because it's like I'm onto like better and new things where it's just like
that's
like
fair too.
it's just like I just simply put it like we didn't work out, because ultimately what happened is like we didn't work out. No matter, it doesn't have to go into the details or anything, but we just simply did not work out. He's not what I wanted, so like that's why I'm here like on a new date. You know what I mean? So,
but you've never have you been in a situation where it didn't work out, but there were still aspects of that relationship that would have worked well as friendship? Like there was still an aspect, like we could communicate really well, or they're like we get along in this aspect, or we get along, you know what I mean? That would have been would have translated well into a friendship.
No, I don't think so. It's
I mean, that's
like,
fair too.
I think it's just like I said, like just like for me, like moving on means like we just like we just simply leave it here. Like there's like an ending to like, you know, like every book, every chapter, like that's the end, and like I'm flipping the page and like life goes on, and it's like no harsh feelings or anything, but it's just like you're not gonna be like the last person I date either, so it's just like I know there's like more to this, like, and like you said, it could be hard at the beginning, but then it's just like I feel like that's just the way I move on. It's just like
that's fair.
out of my life, and like just move on with it. So, yeah.
You've never felt that way?
Well, no, none of my exes, but like I am like in a situation actually now where like I am talking to like a guy as friends that I used to like not, I mean, I guess we dated for a little bit. Like nothing.
Could have just been like a mess around or something.
Yeah, I guess sneaky link. Like, what is that? And she knows about it too, but like him and I, like one thing I had told her, I was like, when I had when we hung out recently, like it was really nice to just have that friendship.
Yeah.
And that really changed my mind, because I used to be like, I don't think I'd be friends with anybody who's friends with their exes just because I'm not, right? I want the same level of like that. Not even saying that there'll be temptation or anything there. It's just like, I think like if I'm not doing it to you, like don't do it to me. Period. Yeah. And so, but I'm actually in a situation like with him, like I really do like his friendship and I like him in general, and I actually like care about him as a friend. Yeah. But I don't see like any other.
It's completely platonic.
It's just, it's so weird. I've never been in this situation, because like I do care about him like how I care about like my other friends. Yeah. And it's like really weird.
And it just so happened that you guys might have like fucked before. And that's fine. But it probably won't happen to you again.
No, it will not happen again. But it's just like it's really weird, because I've never been in that situation. So I think that's changing my mind a little bit about maybe being.
But that's fine. Yeah, that's what I think. Where you'll find some trouble is if you find a guy that you like, and then you tell him, well, I'm friends with this guy, and we were involved in this way, but that is not happening. I think you might deal with the insecurity of the new guy.
So for like example,
you know what I mean?
Like. Yeah, like that's why I think it's so important to talk at the beginning, because if I'm with a guy that has been cheated on, right, or has been in a situation where like, oh, she cheated on me with her best friend, right, her male friend or whatever, I think I would take that a little bit more into consideration, because he is my man. I'm not saying like that. I mean, I probably would drop the friendship if it meant like.
I wouldn't.
Like if it meant like that,
I wouldn't, because it there's also something to be said about personal responsibility. Yeah. If you're gonna walk in with baggage and you expect me to fix it, that's the red flag. That is true. You know what I mean? Yeah. If your girl's been cheated on and said like, well, this has happened to me before, this and that, I'd be like, okay, I get it, and I'm gonna empathize with you. I'm not gonna shame you for it. Yeah. But also like, it's not my responsibility to fix you.
That is so true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've heard that more from women saying to men, it's like it's not a woman's responsibility to fix broken men. You know what I mean? So it also works the other way around. Like, I'm cool, I'm comfortable with my life. So like, if you have your own internalized whatever that has happened to you and you haven't gotten over it, then I suggest like maybe talk to a professional. Like I'm in therapy, you should be in therapy. Like you need to figure something out. You know what I mean? But like, and I'll empathize with it. Like I'll understand like, oh, this is why she's acting this way, or oh, this now. I'll empathize with it. I'm not gonna like be an asshole. But after a certain point, it's not my responsibility. And if it starts to become more of my burden, then I'll say it. I'll be like, hey, look, I think that this is like, I empathize with you, but I think at this point, if this is true and you can't process this the right way, then now it's affecting me. Now I can't even be myself because I constantly think that I'm going to be compared to X, Y, and Z, or that I'm going to, you know, affect you or trigger you in a certain way because of X, Y, and Z. And that's not my response. I got shit to do. Like, it's, you know, so like I'm not a babysitter. Like I really am not. Like, you know, and I've had girls that view me as a bank account or this and that, and I'm like, I'm not if you want a father figure, you need to go to therapy. I'm not a father figure. You know what I mean? I don't have kids for a reason now.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Because like I wouldn't walk into a door and like have them like into their home and be like, no, you can't be friends with her because this happened to me. That is so true. I would never like tell anybody to that. So
yeah,
that's true.
But I mean, I think the more important thing is that like at least for you, like you're very empathetic and you care enough about a person. You'd be like, okay, like I gotta see it from your perspective. I actually think that's one of the most valuable things about women in general is that like there's a huge sense of an empathetic nature to women in general that men don't have. I think the most prevalent emotion that men have is insecurity. I think that almost all of the things that men do are all because they're insecure. They've built countries, they've built coliseums, they've like, you know, build all this, and it's all because they want to impress women and they're insecure that another man is going to do it better than them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they'll say like, oh, we built societies. I'm like, yeah, but for what? Because you wanted to get laid, my guy. And you fought another society. Why? You didn't partner with them. You didn't create some relation. No, you tried to conquer them. Why? Because you were like, oh well, if they take it from me, then I'm gonna lose what I have, and if I lose what I have, then nobody will be here with me.
They literally set
the
system up for themselves to fail.
For themselves to fight each other.
Fail in that aspect.
You know what I mean? So like, whereas women, the entire time that's happening, they're like, I see where you're coming from. And the guy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And the guys are like, what? And the guys are like, but if he takes it from me, right? Yeah. Like most decisions that men make are because of other men, not because of women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's really crazy. Like they.
It's kind of gay, actually.
Like they're trying to like impress.
I'm just saying, yeah, you're trying to impress other men, like you know.
They're always in like competition.
Yeah, like my muscles are bigger. Like, why are you looking at my muscles, dude? Like, you know, it's true. My car is better. Why you ain't even looking in my direction? You know?
Yeah, no, that is actually like true. Yeah, they do spend most of their time like in competition, like with other men, or like literally like competing with them. Like,
yeah, it's not fun. But
yeah.
That's why it's just like why I feel like nowadays it's like that's why you have so many women that like just don't date because it's like my single life is like so much fun. It's all about like me because it's like, and I'm not saying like, you know, when you get in a relationship you change like your like perspective or anything, but like you do dedicate more time now. You know, you share your time with someone else.
It's funny. I think I have had more relations with women whenever we've both been single. Because women don't want to date. And they know that I'm really straightforward. So then they'll be like, I just want this. I just want X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, okay. And then after X, Y, and Z like I've had more times like that whenever I've been single and the girl's been single than whenever I'm in a relationship or whenever I'm pursuing a relationship or they're pursuing relationships.
Yeah, and it's because like women are just like you said, like we're realizing like, well, like I can take myself out. Like, and I always tell myself, like I always ask myself this one question, and it's like if I'm ever like contemplating whether like I want to continue seeing someone or not, like I'm just like, would I rather go out to eat by myself or would I rather go like sit at a table with them? And it's like if I would rather sit by myself, then you have no good, like you're bringing nothing to the table, like we said, or like not even like if I can't even have a good conversation, then like what's the point of me going? I'd rather go out and take myself out on a date. And it's like I think that's something that someone should always do is like it's like take yourself out on dates. Like literally date yourself, go do stuff that you like, and then you'll quickly realize that the men that take you out on dates, like those dates are like boring and like meaningless and just like like I'd rather
I take myself out on dates all the time, bro.
Yes,
I'm like, bro, I fucking
really
love it. I be going with myself. I'll be telling Brayden sometimes, I'm like, man, I went to this place, but like I went to go lead here, bro. It was good.
Yes, it's so nice. And I think that's like one thing is just like women are just like realizing like, yeah, like we like, you know, we are told like we have to be married at a certain age. There's just, I feel like more pressure on women too, because it's like if you want a family, you have like a certain age restriction too, right? Like of when you should have kids. Like you're being told by doctors that you need to have kids by this age. And it's just like women are just not realizing like not even thinking about kids. Like we're thinking about ourselves now. Like
and that's
we're
fine.
Not thinking about kids. So it's like I feel like that's where like this tension is between men that want to flaunt their money and stuff, and women are like, I really don't give a fuck about your money. I have my own money and I have my own plans.
There's a lot of tension.
So
it's a tug of war
like,
for sure.
Yeah, and it's like where I think that's where like the dating pool is at now. It's just like it's hard to really meet someone that like you would want to spend your valuable time with, you know? So
yeah, because like I always said too, like if a guy wants to be the breadwinner, like he deserves to be in a relationship where he is that. Like there's nothing wrong with what you want. It's just I can't be that for you, or vice versa.
If you like that video, please make sure you like and subscribe. We're on every social media platform. It really helps out in the algorithm if you do that, and it also helps us make better content for you in the future. We are 100% self-funded, and we have so many ideas that we want to get out to you guys, but we won't be able to do it without you. So please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. We really, really, really appreciate it. Until next time, see you around.